I've been basically living inside Claude Code for a year now. Every project, every client, literally every day, it's been my daily driver up until last week. Now, last week, I spent an ungodly amount of hours inside of Codex with the new GPT 5.5, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be switching, and it's not even close. Now, part of it's the model, part of it is some other things that I'll be covering later in the video, but I'm going to walk you through all of it. So what changed, what I've been building inside of Codex this week, and where Claude Code still wins, because it does in some regards. And that's all to say, like, I'm not paid by either company. I wish I was, but anyways, I ran 3 businesses on top of these tools. So when I tell you that Claude Code has been the gold standard for a year, like, I genuinely mean it. I've shipped real client code with all of it. I've built agents on top of it. My team uses it, and I only will hire people who know Claude Code. I've built agents on top of it. I've spent more hours in that terminal than I want to admit. So me saying that I'm switching, that should mean something. So if you have watched this channel before, you know that I don't necessarily flip on tools a lot because of one launch. But last week was a bit different where 2 things happened back to back. First thing, April 23rd, OpenAI dropped GPT 5.5. Now, I've already been poking at Codex for a couple of weeks now, but this version of it, it is just a different tool. So this is 4 times more token efficient. The agentic loop actually finishes when it starts off. So all the features like the browser being built in, the plugin install, the computer use, like the whole product, it caught up to the model. The second thing, it happened a few days before. April 21st, Anthropic quietly tried to pull Claude Code out of the $20 plan. Now, a lot of people had noticed there was huge backlash, and they just walked it back the next day saying that it was just a test on 2% of new signups. Fine, whatever, but here's what I actually read into that, is when the company that owns the model is just testing whether they can ration access to it, that's the canary. Like, whether the change ships next month or it doesn't ship at all, the signal is still going to be the same. They're very tight on compute. The cheap tier, it's on borrowed time. So I leaned all the way into Codex for the next week to see if I could actually carry my workflow. Now, dozens and dozens of hours later, I'm going to show you exactly what that looked like. And most people, they're using Codex inside of a browser, and that's fine for a very quick chat, but the actual workflow, it lives inside of the desktop application. So if you haven't downloaded it already, pause this video, go ahead, find the link down below in the description. The web version, it's just not the same tool. You're never going to get the feel inside of the browsers. So make sure to download that right now. So inside of the Codex app, I'm just going to open a brand new project and start from scratch. We could just name this something pretty simple. You don't even have to name it if you don't want to. But for sake of just keeping track of everything, I'm just going to name this agent cockpit. Now inside of here, just make sure you actually have 5.5 selected. I'm just going to go with the extra high model. And I'm going to throw in build me an AI agent cockpit, use a single page dashboard for someone running a small team of AI agents on real client work. So it should show on screen a live list of currently running agents, a today's spend, a queue panel, a recently shipped panel, and a small chart. And then I just give it some specifications, and this part isn't even completely necessary, like use React, Invite, and Tailwind, and I want dark mode, but that's just me kind of nitpicking and want things done specifically to my preferences. So anyways, let's go ahead and run this off. You can see similarly to Claude, it's going to create your plan down at the bottom. It's just going to run off the tasks one by one. So creating the project files, building the cockpit, running the build, starting the dev server, and then verifying visually and just polishing any layout issues. Alrighty, so we just got our dashboard back. So we now have the agent cockpit all live running and inside of this desktop app. So to just walk through this a little bit, we can see this week we have about a 91% success rate. So Monday through Sunday, we have Mira, Sable, Orion, and Kite, and here's what each one's going to be responsible for. So these are just different agents, and of course these are just kind of like mock-ups, like dummy data for the time being. So Mira's just drafting Q2 renewal analysis for Acme Labs. Of course, just some dummy data, evergreen stuff. Today's spend, about 1.84 million tokens used, $41 in estimated cost. Here's the queue of like different tasks that are currently being ran. And then anything that was recently shipped. Now we can get much more expansive on this and have it create like some sub pages and just get much more in depth. But for a beginning pass, this is perfect. One thing that I do like about this interface is we can actually navigate to the top right. You can see the annotate, and we can click on literally anything right here. We can click on any specific assets or aspects. We can click on maybe like the Mira, for example, and we can just add like a simple comment like, add a small live pulse dot on this car that flashes green every 3 seconds while the agent is actually running. We could send this off, and it should be able to push that change for us. So you can see now inside of our input, it's going to just put that specifically inside of our text box, and we can run this off or provide any further context. So it just makes it as simple as possible to make any revisions or adjustments. Now we'll do one more. We're going to add another annotation for, let's do like today's spend. And on today's spend, I mean, we can just say something like, show the actual dollar amount under the token count, estimate at about like $5 per million output or input tokens. And then it'll just stack on to the input. Now we have 2 annotations and we can just run this off whenever we want. Cool. So about 2 minutes later, when I actually started running this, we now have the little pulse status, and we also have the dollar of the input cost right here. So extremely simple. Now, could I have built this all inside of Claude Code? Like, yes, absolutely. I know for a fact that I can, but it would have just been more prompt writing and running the dev server inside of my own terminal. And the desktop application, it just collapses all of that into just one workflow. And that's the real reason why I'm actually switching. But anyways, let me just put this on a board so you can see how I am scoring it side by side and give you a head-to-head comparison. So starting off with the model Codex with 5.5, it just finishes the loop. And the agentic part, it actually works now. So it's just going to retry things. It's going to verify its own work, and it's going to ship. Claude lately, especially on the $20 plan, and for a majority of the users, that's what they are on. It has been hitting limits or just stalling on the long running stuff. So the model, it definitely goes to Codex on this. Now, I do want to be honest with you on any long context refactors. Let's say you've got like an 80,000 line repo that you want to rip out a module and just rewrite it. Claude, it's going to be much better at actually doing that. And really just for any like hopping around with files and holding the whole thing in its head, it's better. So the model conversation, it's not necessarily just one-sided on GPT. It's more so, flipped on its head for both of them. Now the application, and I'm going to be honest, this one is not very close. I think the Codex desktop is a completely different category. So you've got the chat, you've got the live preview, and the agent running its own commands all in one window. So I think Codex, it definitely takes the cake here. Now, where Claude does still win on this side is the ecosystem. So anything like the hooks or the skills, the MCP, sub-agents, like all of it. If you've already wired all of that into your setup, switching, it is kind of a pain in the ass, and Codex, it's still catching up. It's not quite there yet, but that's kind of the credibility moat for Claude. Anyways, the limits and the costs. So for the same task, Codex uses about a quarter of the tokens, and it's the same like $20 plan, which is 4 times more useful work inside of a day. So that alone is enough to actually move me over. And the last one, it's going to be computer use and the integration. So like this sits on the board because it's not just a simple feature. It's like a whole different conversation. And here's why I actually say that. So like this is my theory. OpenAI and Anthropic, they like haven't said this in their documentation. So like take it with a grain of salt, but computer use, it lets the agent just operate any UI on its own. So anything like clicking and typing and navigating without you actually like having to oversee and like drive it. And once an agent can actually do that, like the same capability, it's going to be extending to a ton of different enterprise softwares that just like doesn't have any real APIs. So any like internal dashboards or legacy systems or vendor portals that you've been told to just wait on an integration for. Like with computer use, you don't have to wait. So the agent effectively just operates the same UI that a human would be. So anything like clicking or typing or tabbing, like that's a different conversation than like when's this integration for like this platform that I use every single day is coming. So if we look at the board entirely across both of these, so Codex, it has 4. Claude, obviously it has about 2 different things. So it's a big 2, but it does beat it on 2. So if your daily work lives in the right column, like deep refactors and like the ecosystem you've already built, just stay where you are. Like that's the honest call and what I would recommend for most of you. And for me, like this last week, it's about like 70-30 Codex. So that's the switch for me. And the reason why I'm actually going over is because of these specific reasons right here. So here's like what my setup looks like as of today. So we have Codex desktop, like this is just open all day, 3 or 4 agents running in parallel on just like different tickets. And then the Codex CLI for really anything that needs to touch local files quickly. And then I have Claude Code just staying in my terminal for any like deep refactoring work and like any projects where I've already gotten hooks and the sub agents wired up. So, I mean, that's it. Like that's the entire switch. It's not like Codex or Claude. It's Codex first, and then I use Claude when the situation actually calls for it. And this is the single biggest leverage move that you can make this year, just being good at both and knowing which one to actually be reaching for. So if you're picking one to just learn first right now, I would recommend Codex. Download the desktop application. Like you don't want to use the web version. As I mentioned, like you will just think that it's incredibly mid. And if you're already deep on Claude Code, don't throw it out. Just add Codex on top of it. Let them split the work. But in any case, that's all that I wanted to cover. The biggest reasons why I'm switching to Codex, where I think it actually beats out Claude Code. But with that being said, if you guys want deep dives on all these topics, weekly calls, and join our community, There's going to be a link down below to join our school group. Make sure to check that out. And if you're interested in learning to use AI to grow your business or start an AI business, then make sure to sign up for our free AI newsletter and check out our free school community. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys found some real value in this video. Drop a comment like what you guys are actually using. I read every single comment. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.